You can open the Material List or Estimate command from the Tools menu, or by clicking on the toolbar icon. On the Material Estimate Configuration dialog box, click on the Project Information tab. The Project Information command will allow you to assign specific information to a design, such as the project site location and the project contact information. You can also enter the percent of profit, percent of overhead for labor and materials, miscellaneous fees or permits, and more. In the Project Site Information area, enter the site information such as the project's name, location address, city, and state in the available text boxes. In the Project Contact Information area, enter the customer's contact information such as the customer's name, address, telephone number, and email address in the available text boxes. In the Expenses area, enter the percent of overhead to be applied to direct labor or material costs in the associated text boxes. Enter percentages as whole numbers and not fraction. For example, enter a rate of 30% as 30 and not 0.30. If applicable, enter the sales tax percentage. You definitely do not want to forget to enter the percent of profit. The percent of profit is multiplied against the total expenses of a project, including the material costs, labor costs, overhead expenses, and fees and permits. In most cases, it is necessary to pay a fee to a government agency to tie into a water or electrical source. Enter the costs for required fees or permits in the Fees and Permits text box. You can assign a labor cost to each piece of equipment in the Equipment Costs database. If you enter a direct labor cost associated with the installation of the system in the Direct Labor text box, the value will override any labor rates entered in the Equipment Costs database. You can enter extra costs for contract labor in the Contract Labor text box. There may be times when the installation of a project includes expenses other than the cost of materials and labor. Examples of such expenses are trencher rentals, boring equipment rental, travel expenses, and more. Enter any description and a dollar amount associated with the entry in the Custom Expenses text boxes. You may enter up to 7 different custom expenses. Click on the View Material List button to preview the quantity and description of all items in the report, or click on the View Estimate and Proposal button to view the pricing information.